today we're going to be talking about evaluating expressions. To begin evaluating expressions, I'd like to show this song right here.
Hey Rita, isn't it about time to change that Glade plug-in to refill?
Refill your Glade plug-ins every 45 days to keep your home Glade fresh.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Okay, why do you think we would show that video? Think about that a little bit. Why would we show that to help us with expressions? Okay, the way you would use that with expressions is you have to remember to plug it in every time that you do an expression. For instance, if you had 5x plus 15, and you are given that x equals 3. With that 3, you are going to plug it in. So everywhere I see x, I'm going to plug it in. So I plug this in, and this says 5, 3. Some kids think that that would be 53. That is not 53. It's going to be 5 times x. So I use like a parentheses to put those beside each other. So 5 times 3 plus 15. Now, we have to use our order of operations, which we've already learned. So the first thing we would do is multiply in this case. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 15 is 30. And when I work out expressions, when I work out equations, or I'm using order of operations, I like to make a pizza formation, or some kids say nacho. We don't use the equal sign really, we work down until we get to our answer. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. X is still equal to 3. And we have 2x squared. This is going to include our exponent, so it gets a little harder. The first thing we do, like the Glade commercial reminds us, is plug it in. So the x is going to be a 3. This is 2x squared. So we have to remember that that is a 3 squared minus 4. Well, what is 3 squared? 3 squared is 3 times 3. Then times 2. Subtract 4. So when I do that, I want to make sure that I bring down the rest of my equation, okay, to make sure I'm evaluating it correctly. So now 3 times 3 is 9. Then I'm going to bring everything else down. Now I can do 2 times 9 is 18. Minus 4 is 14. You may not can see that at the bottom there. And those are a couple of examples of evaluating expressions. Next, once you have the hang of this, you can try evaluating expressions with more than one variable. And remember that a variable means the letter that represents a number. And in this case, our variable was x. Thank you. Okay, now we're doing a part 2 to the plug it in. And remember we used the Glade commercial, plug it in, to help you remember just to plug in the variable that is given, if you are given a variable. So in this expression, is 6n add 2x squared plus 7. You are going to use 2 for n and 4 for x. So I'm going to change the color here. And when we change that color, we're just going to plug it in. 6n means to multiply. When I have a number beside a variable, a letter, that means to multiply. So 6 times 2 plus 2 times 4 squared plus 7. So now I'm going to follow the order of operations, and Exponent would come first before any of that, because I do not have parentheses. I have parentheses that mean multiplication, but I don't have parentheses around like x plus 2 or something. So I'm going to do my exponent first. 4 squared, which means 4 times 4 would be 16. So now I'm going to bring down the rest of it. Okay, now I can multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 16 is 32. Now I just add. If you want to, you can go over here to the side and line it up if that's easier for you. 2 add 2 is 4. 7 add 4 is 11. Carry your 1. 1 add 1 is 2. And 3 add 2 is 5. So your final answer is 51. And this is an expression, so you never use an equal sign.